joining or who are not able to join us. So just so you're aware, it is recording. And again, my name is Alexis Miller. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Dee Dee, thanks so much for joining from Silver Springs, Maryland. Everyone else, we'd love to have you drop into the chat your name, where you're joining us from, a little bit about your background with solar, how long you've been involved with Sun, and we are going to get started. So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us for our running one-on-one meetings with Sun supporters volunteer training. We're super excited to have you here tonight. Again, my name is Alexis Miller. I'm a senior community outreach specialist at Solar United Neighbors, and I'm over our Atlantic Southeast region. So that includes Maryland, Virginia, DC, and Florida. And I'm lucky to be joined by my coworker tonight, as well as another one of my coworkers. So we have our full team here to cover all of our states. So I'll let Morgan introduce herself next.
Hey everybody, my name is Morgan Byrne. It's so good to see everyone tonight, or this evening, I should say. I'm Morgan. I'm the community outreach specialist with Sun. I work for the Heartland region, which includes West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Indiana, and Ohio. I currently live in Philly. And I look forward to connecting with you all this evening.
Thanks, Morgan. We also have Sarah, who's on our team, is joining us from Colorado as well. So thank you so much for joining, Sarah. And just so everyone knows an overview of what we're going to do tonight, we're kicking it off with introductions. I see a couple folks have entered into the chat where they're joining from. Jim, who lives in Maryland, thanks for coming. Benjamin in Tucson, Arizona. Jackie in Florida. We love to see the representation from everywhere. So this is great. We are expecting it to be a smaller training. We like these to be a little bit more intimate for folks to be able to connect with other people on the call and learn more about each other in this opportunity. So thank you all for joining us. If you haven't already dropped into the chat, please feel free to drop that in. And next up, we're going to chat a little bit just about Zoom logistics, our theory of change at Solar United Neighbors, then jump into the one-on-one training. And then we'll do a sample one-on-one and do some breakout rooms for some practice time, and then wrap it up after that. So let's dive right in. For Zoom logistics, I know we've all maybe been on a lot of Zoom meetings at this point, but just so you're aware, you are able to mute and unmute yourself. Again, this is a small call, so feel free if you have questions to unmute yourself and hop in. Or you can also use the chat feature if you would prefer to add it there, and Morgan will be letting me know when we see some questions come through. So feel free to use either. And I know some of you have your video on. It's great to see you. If you're comfortable, feel free to turn on your video. We love to see all the friendly faces that are joining us. And again, the chat is on your lower right, so you can type in that way if you're more comfortable doing that. Our meeting norms, we just like to remind people, since this is something that we want people to interact with, that you are respectful to other people who are on the call. We ask folks to step up and step back. So please contribute and be a part of the conversation, but make sure that you're stepping back and leaving room for other people to join in on the conversation. We don't want you to be shy, so please participate. We want to hear from you, but just make sure that everyone has the opportunity to join into the conversation. Our theory of change at Solar United Neighbors, for those of you who aren't familiar, or for a little reminder, we help folks to go solar. I'd love to see if folks who have their camera on want to raise their hand, or if you want to drop in the chat who has solar and or who has gone solar through a co-op. Oh, I see Sarah has her hand raised. I didn't even know Sarah had solar, so I'm learning something new about my coworker. Anyone else have solar? Well, we are here to help more folks go solar. So we do our solar co-ops is one way, but we also help folks go solar on their own and have a couple other supporting programs that help people to go solar. And as we help folks to go solar, we bring solar supporters and solar owners together to join together and fight for our energy rights, where we make sure that there are solar friendly policies everywhere. And as we fight for more solar friendly policies, we're able to help more folks go solar. And as more people go solar, more people can join together. It's just a self-fulfilling cycle. Dee Dee, you have your hand raised. Is that to say that you have solar? Do you have a question?
No. I'm going solar. I've gone
awesome.
solar.
Woohoo! We love that. Thanks. So that's just a little bit about how we organize ourselves and what we think of our like 3 key pillars to the work that we do at Solar United Neighbors. So what motivates you to work with Solar United Neighbors or to work in solar? If anyone wants to unmute themselves and answer that, or if you just want to drop it into the chat, that would be great. But I'd love to hear from you all what motivates you.
Can I jump in?
Please hop on in. Oh, now you're muted. What's on?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're good. Jump on in.
Thank you. My name's Ben Need, Tucson, Arizona, and I was just about to write this in the chat. I don't have solar because I rent. I have a rented house in Tucson. I drive an electric car. Actually, I'm all electric in terms of the house infrastructure. Yeah, everything. We just got rid of our gas stove, and that's kind of exciting. What I'm doing actually is I'm building, and I will actually be presenting here for Solar United Neighbors on the 18th, this next Monday, in a do-it-yourself forum, the beginnings of a solar battery system that I'm working on. That's something that's small enough that I can put inside my car. All those panels will be in there. And the hope is that within 20 minutes after getting someplace, I can put everything up. And actually, it's powerful enough to charge the car, trickle charge it. But that's my involvement at this moment.
Amazing. Oh, sorry, someone on the phone. Do you want to add to that? Well, thank you so much, Benjamin, for sharing that. That's amazing. And thank you so much for participating in the event next week. That's great. I'm really excited about that. It looks like we have a couple people who answered into the chat as well. And then I'll get to you, Jim. But Tracy said to convince more people to go solar. That's definitely a big part of what we do. So I love that. Jim said moving into the future. Dee Dee said to address global warming. And Jackie said everyone needs to do what they can to save our earth. She lives in a condo, so can't do solar. And I saw, I'm not solar. And I saw Florida will not allow third-party involvement to go solar in my condo. I'd like to assist Sun. Great. Yeah, that's the perfect reason to get involved. Jim, do you have more to add to that?
Well, I just want to share my passion. We have this giant fusion reactor in the sky that's sending us all this free energy, unlimited amount, and all we have to do is collect it. I mean, it's a no-brainer that this is our future and that we need to leave fossil fuels behind. And in recent weeks, we can add to that the importance of energy security.
Definitely. Yeah, those are all really big reasons. Thank you for sharing. Eugene said went solar through one of our Minnesota co-ops. That's great. And it was helpful to have someone to answer questions, escape the installers, and get opinions on particular options. And that's definitely a huge bonus to going solar through the co-op, is that you have that unbiased advice to be able to help guide you through the process. Well, awesome. I'm super grateful to have all of you guys here. We're excited. It's really great to hear everyone's stories and backgrounds and their involvement. So that brings us to, why would someone not maybe come back to volunteering? You guys are here as you probably already volunteered with Solar United Neighbors, and this is another opportunity, another way you're getting involved. I know I've seen some of your faces. If you work in my states, I've seen your faces before. But I'd love to hear if you have any ideas on reasons you think why people don't come back to volunteering, whether that's at Sun or another organization where you've attended an event and then you never did anything else with the organization, or you volunteered with them and then never saw them again. What are some ideas you have for reasons why people don't come back? You can feel free to drop into the chat or unmute. Sarah said, I feel like they don't know enough to be able to help. That's a really good one, especially with solar. I think people can be intimidated by that, feeling like they wouldn't be able to answer questions or know what to do. Anyone else have any ideas? I'll give you some ideas. Here's kind of the general buckets that things generally fall in. Maybe no one asked you to come back is a simple one. Maybe not understanding the importance of volunteering or what their specific project that you've been asked to do, what the importance of that project is. Maybe they're not interested in that specific activity or that type of activity, or it's just not really a fun activity to volunteer for. Maybe that's why they're not interested. Overburdening, maybe they were asked too much or given too big of an assignment that didn't fit their time needs or their time interests. Not reminding, sometimes people just forget or need a little special touch to be able to keep them in the loop about things. Maybe changing expectations or assignments where they're not getting a consistent message from folks and don't understand what their role is in the organization, or lack of appreciation or recognition. You all know volunteering or working in nonprofits, there's a lot of, you can never give too much thanks to people. So sometimes people, if they feel unappreciated, won't come back to volunteer as well. So this is where you come in. We are working to build a very intentional and strategic long-term solar movement. And as a part of that, we're building our volunteer teams to be able to help and support each other. And so we can all support each other and bringing those different barriers that sometimes block folks from volunteering and being able to combat those by working together to build this movement and be as powerful as possible together as a group. So what is a one-on-one? What is this training that we're even talking about? A one-on-one is a meeting that you hold with generally a new Sun supporter or new Sun volunteer, but it could be with someone who's been involved previously, and it can be a formal like scheduled call, Zoom call, or it could be a more informal, casual check-in. Could be 1 minute, 5 minutes, or it could be longer, depending on what you're connecting with the person on. And if you are interested in chatting for longer, it can be kind of flexible to your needs and your interests, as well as the person that you're connecting with. So why do we do those? Again, a lot of videos are on now, so you guys can raise your hands in the background and I can see who likes to connect with like-minded people. I know I do, and most people. Who likes to talk with people about solar or EVs or renewable energy? I'm going to say most people. So this is a great opportunity to be able to connect with other people who are interested in similar things as you, and build that community. So why do we do this? To connect with other solar solar lovers and get them involved in the solar movement. To find out skills and interests of people who are wanting to be a part of the movement so that we can better connect them to the needs that would make sense for them. And then to keep people involved for the long run. It can be intimidating for people to show up on a Zoom call or even an in-person meeting without knowing anyone. So this provides them a connection to someone else who will be on meetings with them or be involved in the movement, so they don't feel alone in being a part of it. They feel like they're a part of it with someone else. And just to make the biggest impact. This really helps to continue to build out our campaigns and co-op work more effectively and helps us to have as much people power as possible. So what are the steps to a one-on-one? What does this typically look like? There are 5 steps. We'll dive into these a little more deeply, but they're pretty self-explanatory. The first step, getting to know the person that you're chatting with. 2, sharing background on Solar United Neighbors. 3, sharing with them why them. 4, the ask. And 5, the wrap up. So getting to know them. This is the space where you get to connect with someone. We say to just be genuine, be yourself, connect the way that feels natural for you, but getting to know what are their skills, what are their backgrounds, what are their interests in working with solar, so that you have a better idea of how to plug them in, can share with us, oh, they're interested in this, and we can better find the match for them. And it's a great opportunity for you to share your background and your interest in solar and find where those pieces fit together with someone. Just like what we were doing at the start, you're able to, I'm sure, find others who have similar thoughts as you do. A few questions that you can use for that to guide you through this. And we do have a kit that gives you tons of ideas and sample scripts and things, but these are just some thoughts. You can chat with them. Where are you from? What do you do for work? What do you do for fun? Just stuff to be able to get to know the person. And just sharing a background on Sun. So I like to just share with people when I'm talking about Sun, just our theory of change. I think those 3 pillars are easy to talk about and a simple way for us to share the work that we do, but you can share it from the background of if you went through co-op, you can share it through that. If you got involved through volunteering, share just your like piece of the puzzle of how you interact with Sun, and we're happy to provide more information as needed. But we keep that pretty simple of what Solar United Neighbor is, background on solar. You can just chat with them if you know about solar and want to talk more about solar. You can chat more deeply about it, but if you don't, I'm not a solar expert by any means, honestly. Our team isn't our solar expert team, though we do have those on our whole Sun team that are, but I still am able to have conversations with folks that doesn't have to dive into all the technicalities of solar. So just meet people where they're at and talk with them with solar on their level, and then share the background on the co-op or the campaign that you are talking with them about. And we'll be sharing that background with you before you do those calls, but so that you know what campaign you're talking about or what co-op is going on in your area. Then chat with them about why them. Why are you calling them? Why are they important to be a part of our movement? This is helpful for them to be able to understand how they fit into the big picture. So there's some examples of things that you can say about sharing with them why we need everyone to be a part of this movement and how we're all stronger together and able to build the movement better together. It's super helpful to dive into why their skill set is useful as part of it. So for example, the second bullet says, when people come together and in an organized way, we can truly make a big difference. Your skill of organizing, your skill of being passionate about EVs is super helpful and important for the future of X, being able to tie in what they've shared with you. And then the ask. This is a super important way to be able to keep them moving, keep the ball rolling, and get them continuing to be involved. So this is super key. There's some example asks here we would be sharing with you. Hey, we're wanting you to chat with them about inviting them to the next volunteer training, inviting them to the DIY solar night. We would be sharing with you so you would know what the ask would be, but here are some ideas. And then we also say to have a secondary ask. So if they're like, I won't be able to make that event, you can say, oh, no worries. Would you like to join our Sun listserv where you can connect with fellow solar supporters? Or would you like to like our Facebook page? Something that's a lower bar ask that still helps them to feel like they're a part of what we're working on and able to take a next step with us. And then the wrap up, just tying it all together, saying thank you so much for chatting with me and letting them know what the expectations for the next step will be. So I will see you at the next meeting on Thursday at 6 p.m. Can't wait to see you there. I'll send you an email with the link, or thanks for being willing to flyer. I'll email you the flyers so you can print them out, just the follow-up so that they know, and then be sure to follow through with whatever you have said that you will do. So the key takeaways, be yourself. This is a super awesome opportunity for you to be able to connect with others. Remember the ask, that's a key point of doing these calls and the key part to building and continuing to grow this network. Have fun. This is a great opportunity and a fun way just to be able to connect with other people throughout our network. And then just to remember the follow-up. And that's the general lay of the land. Does anyone have questions on what we've chatted about before we dive into some examples? Feel free to unmute yourself if you'd like to, or you can feel free to drop them into the chat.
I think I saw Andrew raise his hand.
Hey, Andrew, you're welcome to chat. I think you're unmuted already, so feel free to chat if you'd like to.
Okay. If I could get it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, I know I'm driving and everything, but I'm good. I dropped in there about the I'm Andrew Stith. I think I was in.
Oh no, Andrew, you got muted. I heard that you got to your name, but then it got muted, so we didn't hear your question.
And
try again.
I put in the chat about minorities. About minorities, get minorities more involved in solar and wind and everything. I have a business that I've been trying to launch for since 2017. I just had the license, but I haven't had the way of starting the business, whatever. But yeah, that's what I want to do, is to get more minorities involved, because there's no minorities in it. Too many minorities. So how do y'all feel about it, and is there any way I can get some support in it, or what can I do?
Alexis, are you okay with me answering that?
Go for it, sir.
Okay. Andrew, I really appreciate that question. I think this is such a potent question in our organization right now. And, you know, we currently employ an inclusion and equity fellow who is kind of helping us to figure out how we can move forward in this work and create space and empower space for people of color or other minority or other marginalized communities to have access to this space. And I think what is so unfortunate is that historically there hasn't been access, and there hasn't been, in my opinion, enough privilege to have communities that are burdened by things like, you know, the high energy costs, the high energy burden. It's an interesting question. And I think the best answer that I can give, and like I said, I'm no expert, but the best answer I can give is we are really trying to understand what it is that these underserved communities need, because I think before they can act, you know, they have to have their needs met. And so, you know, when we're moving throughout this co-op work, we're really trying to ask ourselves, like, can we serve these areas and can we service these communities? And once we've done our due diligence of being able to at least help them, like then we can come from a place of asking for help. And so I think, you know, in terms of what can you do, I would love to hear more about what it is that you do. And I would love to hear more about what the challenges you faced are, because it's certainly not a unique issue that you're having. It's an issue that we are all having, that we are striving to be better on. And I absolutely appreciate you bringing up the conversation, and I hope that we can connect offline.
Yeah, I want to ask one more. I want to say one more thing. I'm here in the Hampton Roads area. The big thing about it is, I don't know if y'all heard that they have put in like 3 or 4 turbines off the coast of Virginia Beach. Off the coast of Virginia Beach, that's a big thing. And you know, I don't know if y'all see Hampton Roads. It's a big Navy metropolis and everything. And then all we are surrounded by water. So I've been fighting. Since the 90s and whatever. I've been fighting for, you know, Dominion Energy, Dominion Power, and everything to serve the communities here. But a lot of the solar co-ops and everything, they go to the rich people neighborhoods. So it needs to be a bridge. There's a bridge, needs to be some type of bridge that needs to be launched. You know.
Right.
Yeah,
Andrew, we actually have, I was going to say, in the Hampton Roads area, I'm over Virginia as one of my states, and I think you were at our last Solar Action Team meeting, I believe, and we have another one coming next week where we'll be talking about the upcoming co-ops. It's on next Tuesday night. And
Okay.
in Hampton Roads, actually, we have a low and moderate income component for that co-op that is going to be happening. It's not launching for like another 2 months, but we'd love to have your help with spreading the word to be able to get folks able to apply and be a part of the program. So I can chat with you more about that, but that would be great.
Okay, because I'm trying to get my churches involved, trying to get all of church, everything's involved. You know, because everything now, you know, you got the Catholic Church. A lot of the ones I see, I'm not trying to be racist or nothing, but they're white churches. They have the solar panels and stuff like that, but a lot of blacks don't have it because of the income, and that's and I keep on telling, and I keep on letting these people know, you know, there has to be something to, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. So we could talk about it. We could brainstorm, and I'm you know.
Yeah, let's connect.
I'm ready to do the movement.
Yeah, let's connect. And I know that we had mentioned Ruth Almonson, who was working on projects in Hampton Roads, on churches and schools, etc. So if you haven't connected with her, I can reconnect you too. And then Ben, it looked like maybe do you have a comment to add as well?
Well, just adding to what Andrew's concerns are, one of the things that really impresses me about Solar United Neighbors here in Arizona, two things that are happening. Today, there is the meeting at the Arizona Corporation Commission, and I know that a lot of Sun people are part of that. And what they are doing is expressing their concerns of an historically Black community in central Arizona, that they're going to put, the utility is going to put natural gas peaker plants in and mess up basically what has been going on there even more so in the last 50 years. That's important work. And I had one other thought. Hey, Mark, how you doing? I'm at my workplace, by the way, so people are going to be coming in and out of here. There is, quite a bit of outreach. There's solar panel. I just read in the local paper the other day, solar panels put up on a large nonprofit building here in Tucson. And, things are happening, in my backyard with your organization. And I'm here today to kind of connect with more of that too. So, some positive things are going on in that regard, I think.
Definitely. Yeah, we were able to help with that nonprofit getting solar. And Sarah actually will be our engagement specialist over Arizona starting next week. So I'm sure she'd love to connect with you to chat more about how you guys can work together. I saw that Jim also had mentioned a comment in the chat about knowing where our funding comes from. I'm not able to see my screen to search, but maybe Morgan or Sarah, if you can drop in the annual report. I believe the last page has like a bar chart of where all the funding comes from. Oh, there you go. Morgan was ready to go. But that gives you an overview so you can see the pieces of the pie. And if you have further questions, we're happy to answer. So feel free to reach out to me, Jim. You have my email and I'm happy to chat with you more about it. Do we have any other questions from folks? Awesome. Well, I'm going to dive. I like the thumbs up, Jim.
Oh,
Yeah,
there was one question. It was sent to me as a direct message. Is there any information about financing, i.e. grants or loans? That was from Sam. So Sam, if you want to speak more to that question, I assume you mean like options for people that want to go solar and how they can access loans, that sort of thing, or potential grants. We do have a small financing section during our solar 101s. So if people are like sort of interested in going solar, we always encourage them to go to those info sessions for their state, or sometimes they're specific to a county. And so that would be more specific information about what would be available in their state or community regarding financing. There's also some financing charts on co-op pages. So if you go to one of the co-op pages that are like for an open co-op, towards the bottom of the page, there's like a sample pricing, which has some like potential costs, that sort of thing laid out. Yeah, if you wanted to let me know what else, if you were thinking something else regarding that question, feel free to send me a message. I'm also getting a couple messages saying, can we change the view so we can see each other?
Yes, I was just going to do that actually. Welcome, you can all see each other now. Sarah, did you have something to add to that?
Morgan's comments? I mean, yeah, Sam, did that answer your question?
They sent me a message saying, yes, thank you. So
okay, great.
And then I see Jim's question, how do you effectively answer the skepticism that this sounds too good to be true? I admit that this kept me from signing up for community solar for quite a while.
I think my my honest answer would be just sign up. Like, just sign up. You know, if you go through the process, you'll see that we mean what we say, and we really are just here to help. And we are non-biased, and so we don't get any different treatment for helping select one installer versus the other, or whatever savings are realized in a co-op. Like, we are simply here to provide non-biased information, and yeah, we just suggest that folks go through the process and see it for themselves.
Good, Morgan. Okay, well, we'll dive into, you're going to just do a practice one-on-one so you guys can see what that looks like. Morgan and I run through one and then do some quick breakout rooms so you can connect with someone else just to do a practice run, and then we'll let you all go. It should be pretty quick, but feel free to drop in the chat if you have any other questions. Morgan, are you ready for that? Does that work?
Yeah, so I just dropped in the chat the link to our toolkit for connecting with new Sun supporters. This toolkit has sample scripts and sample emails that you can send to anyone that's interested in learning more about certain events or like info sessions, or they're interested in getting involved with like advocacy. There's just some templates that you can pick and choose from with that toolkit. And feel free to also go off script. This is, not strict in any way, but it's really just like connecting to people genuinely and authentically, like Alexis had mentioned earlier. Like, most of my conversations with people, they can go anywhere from like 5 minutes because someone doesn't have a lot of time, and people are working and they have a lot of things going on, and sometimes we just get into a really great conversation and we can chat for like 45 minutes, which is wonderful. And I love hearing about what people are interested in, what they have going on, and so that way we can connect them with policy that speaks to them if they're having trouble with their HOA, and we can connect them with that. If we're involved in their state with like an advocacy campaign around solar rights with an HOA, we can connect them that way. And so it's really just learning about what someone's interested in, what their experience is. I don't want to just repeat everything that Alexis said, but yeah, so Alexis and I will kind of just give a sample of what this conversation could look like. Feel free to look through this toolkit yourself, and then after Alexis and I run through this, we'll break you off into some rooms and you guys can talk and connect with one another. Jackie asked, should we have received a toolkit already? We did not send out the toolkit already, like via email. I just dropped it in the chat, so hopefully everyone can access it. Awesome, I'm seeing some head nods, so awesome. I think, yeah, Alexis.
Yeah, and it seems silly, and Morgan and I have not practiced this, so it's a little bit ad-libbing it, but just like helpful to see it in action. And then that's why we want to give you guys space to connect with some other folks on the call, just because it's helpful to see what it looks like. So don't judge us on our acting skills, but ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Alexis Miller with Solar United Neighbors. Could I speak with Morgan?
Yes, this is she.
Hi, Morgan. Thanks for chatting with me. I'm calling because I saw that you attended our volunteer training this week, and I wanted to give you a quick call, see if I could invite you to our upcoming DIY solar night.
Ooh,
Do you have a couple minutes to chat?
Sure. Yeah, I have a few minutes.
Awesome. What did you think of the volunteer training we had last week?
I thought it was so great. I got to connect with some people in my area and learn more about what Sun is up to.
Yeah, it's fun to be able to see some other people who are interested in the same thing, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, it's a great opportunity because we need all of us working together to be able to build the solar movement. Well, we have the DIY solar night that is coming up, Earth Week. We're super excited about it. Sorry, Ben, I don't actually remember the date and time of it, so I'm making this up. But on
Monday,
April
Monday
20
the 18th,
Oh,
and
there we go.
here in Arizona, it's going to be from 5 to 6. I don't know what that is out in the East Coast.
Perfect. From 8 to 9 on the East Coast. And would you be interested in attending?
Yeah, I think I'm available then.
Awesome. Great. I will mark you down as attending. What is the best email address for me to send the registration link to?
You can email me at mbyrne@solarunitedneighbors.org.
Awesome. I will send that your way. And before I go, I just want to check, do you have any friends that we could also send the invite to that might be interested in joining?
There might be.
Awesome. I will send you a little blurb that you can send out to some folks or post on your Facebook if you want to share it.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Have a great day, Morgan.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye. Andrew gave us a raving review. Love it. Oh, awesome. So that's just kind of how it goes. And just a general review, if you're interested in being one of these volunteers, we would have you listed as one of these folks in our states, and you would just be following up after, like if, for example, in Arizona, if you guys had a volunteer meeting, you'd be following up after that. Or Jim, we have our Maryland Solar Action Team meeting coming up in 2 weeks. So maybe you'd call a couple of the new attendees and say, hey, what do you think? How's it going? Just to be able to provide another connection spot for them. So I'd be emailing you or Morgan or Sarah as your community outreach specialist and saying, hey, here's a couple of folks for you to follow up with. Do you have any time in the next week or so to follow up with them? You can say, yeah, I do. No, I don't. And try me next time. And you can do it next time if that works better for you. So that's like the general lay of the land. Again, there's this toolkit that gives you all the scripts and things so you can look through that, but just so you know what to expect. Morgan, do you want to split people up into breakout rooms so they can practice with each other?
Sure. Yep.
Thanks, Rose.
Wait, could I ask something first? And
Of course.
maybe
Please.
some of this would apply to the group, so I'll just say it. So I got involved with Sun about 2.5 years ago when I joined a co-op and put solar on my house, and it was a great experience. And I went to a fair to talk to other people about solar, but I feel like I've gone from being, an early a consumer to then I'd love to do outreach, but there's a lot of knowledge I don't have and things I would like to be able to talk to people about, especially about financing or how they can make it feasible, and more about how the organization works. And there's just a huge gap. I'm sitting here looking on the website. Maybe I should be spending more time on the website. I never heard about this DYI event.
Yeah.
I get a few emails, so I feel like I really need more information. I'm not quite sure how to get it myself.
Yeah,
So for that.
Yeah, that's a great flag. I appreciate you saying that. There definitely can be gaps depending on what you have been involved in. And just so you know, I don't think the email has gone out to everyone about that night. So that's why you haven't gotten that yet. So don't feel like you're missing out. That'll be coming shortly. But yeah, maybe it would be you and I can definitely connect with you on like a one-on-one basis of things that you would like to chat with more, or with Kimberly, who's the Maryland State Program Director. But I think in general, we want to provide more training so that you have that background beforehand. So we're doing these solar action team meetings in a lot of our states to be able to provide that knowledge and communication and connection. But it kind of just depends on what your background has been with Solar United Neighbors prior to this and or other opportunities. And I know you had done tabling. You actually inspired Morgan and I are working on a tabling training that goes into more like background on stuff so that before you table, you have some knowledge before you get there. So we are working on building those out, but I'd love to connect with you more on what would be helpful to see and what the best way for us to be able to provide that information would be. We're definitely trying to build that out better.
Maybe you and I can chat sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure there are other people who have things as well. And Sarah, feel free to hop in.
Thank you. Yeah, Dee Dee, I really appreciate that question. And I love you calling that in because it is something that we would like to get better at moving forward. If there's anyone on this call or anyone that you know of that wants to be more involved and, you know, really wants that one-on-one time, like that's absolutely something we're always happy to do, is jump on a call to chat with you one-on-one and help inform you so that you can feel confident in what you're doing. And then like Alexis said, every month, each state will have what did you call it, Alexis?
It's solar action team meetings. Most states,
Okay.
we're trying to get them in all the states.
Okay, because yeah, we in Colorado, we call it an engagement call. But usually the idea of that is to kind of inform you of the pressing issues of that month in each state. And so, you know, the idea and the hope is that in those calls, you'll leave with an action item or something that you can do. But yeah, long story short, we are here to uplift you and to support you. And so if there is any area that you want to dive into, please do not hesitate to reach out to Alexis. Are you her? Okay, great. To Alexis. And yeah, we'll get you going.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Andrew, did you have a follow-up question before we hop into the breakout rooms? Or if you want, you and I can stay out here in the,
Yeah, we can still do it. But I wanted, also, when he was talking, I wanted to, I don't know, because I guess because it's still high and because people are still wondering about how long this, you know, how many times it would take and all that, you know, the expiration date. Also, I discussed in the chat room, can somebody explain about cilantro? You know, when they were the company, I guess the government company or whatever, gave them subsidies to build solar panels. And they went bankrupt, and I guess a Chinese company or somebody bought them. Can somebody, for the whole group, can somebody explain it?
Are you talking about Solyndra?
Yeah, my bag. Yeah.
Old news. They were developing back in like 2008 or 2009, not really a solar panel, but some sort of rather high-tech solar collection device. And yeah, the government gave them a bunch of money. It didn't pan out. What happened is that conventional solar panels, like the silicon wafer flat sheets that you see everywhere now, became cheaper, and it was considered a big scandal. And I always told people, look, the Iraq war is going on right now. We spend more money in one day occupying that country than went to Solyndra, and it's a nothing burger, you know. But somehow it's still news, and it's just amazing to me.
thank you for filling in first, Benjamin. That's helpful. We'll do the breakout rooms now. Morgan's going to separate us out. I know we've had some newcomers join. So for the newcomers, I'll try to stay in the main room with them. Might be a little tricky for Morgan. And Jackie, I did see your message. I'm happy to connect with you.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to try and start some breakout groups. Alexis, you said that you're going to stay in the main room with, okay. All right, so just give me 1 second, everyone. And then, Didi, you actually accidentally, I think, sent your message directly to me and not Jim. Sorry about that.
I just thank Jim for that website, Energy Sage. It looks like it's got a lot of good information.
Gotcha. All right, I think it's good. I'm going to open all the rooms now.
Sarah, you don't want to know how many times that happens to me. Yeah, it looks like folks are peeling off. Okay, for those of you who are still in this room, just so you know, everyone's breaking out into breakout rooms, but since you guys just joined, we didn't want to pop you into a breakout room without where Ruben, I know you've been on many a previous calls, so you are familiar with what we do, but I just don't want to.
Sorry that today I'm late, so I thought that I would make it, and then I was like, I hope that it's not too late, you know.
No. You were totally good. I just wanted to let you know that's why you were in here, because I didn't
Yeah.
want to throw you out there when you didn't know what was going on. I'll share with you like the toolkit, but the lay of the land is we were just talking about how to connect with new Sun supporters. So if you're interested, this volunteer, which I know you've been familiar with many of volunteer opportunities with us, but this one, if you're interested, is just connecting with new Sun supporters. So like when you attend our Maryland Solar Action Team meeting, making some calls to people afterwards who are new to, maybe there's 2 people who have never attended before, and you can call them and say, hey, it was great to see you about that, you know, and invite them to a future event just to provide another connection point to help kind of build on that relationship and provide some more, you an opportunity to connect with someone, them an opportunity to connect. It just helps people to feel a part of the network.
Spread the word. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can share with you this recording, the toolkit and stuff, but it's pretty simple. We have a whole thing that guides you through how to do it. But just that process of connecting with someone and providing them with whatever the next step might be to connect. So thanks for joining. You're like so wonderful to be on so many things. You're so helpful.
Yeah, I try to be, you know, like active, you know, like from the very
You
beginning,
are.
and try to help you as much as I can. The only thing is like sometimes, you know, schedules is like they don't align with
Totally.
events.
Yes.
So it's
I
like,
got you.
some of these events I miss them, but then, you know, it's like I think that you record some of these ones, right? So you know, it's like what I normally do. Then, you know, I review the materials and everything on my own, and you know, it's like try to keep up on things.
Yes. Oh, totally. No, you're great at doing that. So thank you for joining. Jose, we're just joining. Were you here earlier in the call, or are you just joining now?
Well, at what time is it was the meeting? It was at 5,
sorry.
right?
It started at,
I think it's late, right?
yeah, that's okay. It started at 6 Eastern time. Where are you joining us from?
Houston.
So you're off of, you're at 5 your time? We might have tricked you with the time zones, get a little bit weird, but I'm grateful you're joining. I was just sharing with Ruben that I can share with you, we'll have a recording of this, and then we also have a toolkit, but the training basically was just about how you can connect with other solar supporters. So if you guys have like a Texas volunteer meeting or a Texas info session, you calling someone else who is there who's new and being like, hey, I'm Jose, how are you doing? What's your like interest in solar? And getting to know them and then inviting them to a future event just to help them feel a part of what we're doing and be able to continue to build out the network. That's the general top line of what we talked about.
Okay.
Awesome. Do you have solar, or did you go through the co-op in Texas? Did you work with Dory? Are you in Houston, you said?
I'm in Houston. Yeah.
Okay. So Dory was your co-op person?
Yeah. I'm a solar consultant. I work for a solar company. It's residential.
Okay.
I help people to buy panels for their homes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, great. Thank you so much for joining with us. Dory's been great down there. So Texas isn't one of my states, but I've helped Dory a little bit on some of her projects.
Yeah.
We just have everyone. There's other people who are attending, but they're all in breakout rooms. So that's why it's only us right now. They should be joining back with us in like a minute.
Okay.
Ruben, how are things going for you?
Good. Well, today was like have been hectic, and last week has been hectic. You know, it's like my wife and my daughter got like COVID.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, and I was like, I was like able to isolate at home, but it was really hard. And yesterday I get like a PCR, and today came positive. It's like, oh no.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
At least, you know, like we don't have like any symptoms because, you know, it's like we are vaccinated. We have like the 2 boosters, but it really sucks because now we have like to isolate it, you know, it's like they are home for like 2 weeks. So
oh no. From school that whole time, that's brutal.
Yeah. At least, you know, it was like during the spring break. So, you know, it's like we can have like our daughter home. So she will not miss a lot of school, but yeah, it's like a drama.
Yeah. Oh dang. Well, I hope you guys are feeling better soon. That's not fun.
Yeah, no, it's not. But we'll have no bad symptoms. My wife was like a little bit tired, but that was it, you know, which is good. So
Yeah, well, fingers crossed for you too.
yeah, thanks.
Hey, Brad, thanks for joining us. We're
Yeah,
just
sorry I'm late. I've been tied up
Okay.
with all sorts of stuff. Refresh my memory on the
Solar.
premise for this meeting.
Yeah, I'm happy to. And we have everyone was in breakout rooms and they're hopping back in to join us right now. So I can give you a quick overview and then we'll be sending out a recording and a toolkit and then we'll be wrapping up. Everyone's about to finish up, but
Yeah.
we were doing a training on how to do one-on-ones with new Sun supporters. So just quick meetings and calls where you can connect with other solar supporters who have attended an event where you call them, get to know them a little bit, and then ask them to join us for a future event or a future action just to help continue to build the solar movement.
And just to refresh my memory, are you focused on rooftop installations or community solar? Or
Both.
We help with both, but primarily rooftop solar, but we support all kinds of solar. We just want everyone to have their ownership to solar.
Right.
I just
Awesome.
I just got cut off. Can you put me back on? I guess classroom 1 or whatever.
I think that the breakout rooms have ended, so we're gonna wrap up here. Your person is in here. I don't know who you were with, but they're in here somewhere now.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, I thought I did something wrong.
No, you're good. We kicked you out so that you could join back together so we can wrap up. Does anyone have any follow-up questions or things before? Yes, I see your hand, Benjamin.
Earth Day coming up here in Tucson on the 23rd, Saturday. I'm going to be volunteering with some of the people who are actually bringing together all the groups, and I'll be checking people in and assigning their tables that morning.
Awesome.
I guess I want to know, does the Solar United Neighbors in Tucson have a table, and how can I be part of that?
Let me check. I don't know, but I can follow up with our team there, and then I'll follow up with you on if we do. I'm not sure.
Great.
That's a great idea. Yeah, there's lots of Earth Day events, so it's a great opportunity to get involved. I know we have Dee Dee volunteering at a table on Earth Day too. So, anyone else have follow-up questions? I'd be interested. Jackie, awesome. Yeah, we'll follow up.
I noticed the email for this said Zoom number 3. Where were Zoom numbers 1 and 2?
Oh, we just at Solar United Neighbors, the email must have come from that, but we have separate different accounts because we have so many meetings happening at once that Zoom 1 has some meetings happening, Zoom 2, Zoom 3. So it's just a way for us to be able to have more meetings at once. But Zoom 3 is where you should be. Sorry for any confusion. There's just a lot going on at Sun. Awesome. Well, we have a quick poll to launch to see who's interested. I know we've had folks popping in and out, so we'll follow up with everyone who joined us throughout the evening. But Morgan, do you want to launch the poll quickly and then we will wrap up?
Yeah, I just launched it. Hopefully it's popping up on people's screens. Awesome.
Yes, so if you're able to see, Morgan launched a poll to see who's interested in volunteering. So if you want to answer that quickly, and then we'll just wrap up here. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We're super excited to have so many people coming through. It's really great and super exciting to see everyone who wants to be involved. I really appreciate everyone's feedback on things that we can provide additional support on. So continue to come with us with those ideas. And we'll definitely be connecting with all of you on the specific comments that you had, as well as we'll be sending out just our general follow-up tomorrow with a recording, the toolkit, and all the information. If you're interested in doing this, we'll be following up in like the next week or so with the opportunities coming up. So thank you all again so much for your time. We really appreciate it. It's been super fun to connect with everyone. And we hope everyone has a great evening and a sunny rest of your week. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Want to go ahead and talk? You want to talk?
I'm happy to stay on with you, Andrew. We can let everyone else leave, but I'm happy to chat with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna make you host, Alexis.
Go for it.
Where are
Okay.
you located, Alexis?
I'm in Virginia. Where are you at, Brad?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So I work with our Maryland volunteers, and Dee Dee was in Maryland. Ruben down is in Maryland as well. So we've got several Maryland folks. But we're wrapping up. I think Andrew just might have some other questions to add. Andrew, feel free to add your questions. Everyone else, you can be a part of it, or feel free to hop off.
Yeah,
But Andrew, I'm warning you, I do have to hop off at 7 to get my 10-month-old daughter is
I understand.
with the.
I understand. Do you want us to get together, or do you want to wait till next week, or how you want to do it?
I'll email you and let's schedule a call that you and I can have before the meeting, and then you're welcome to also join it and participate. But it'd be great if we could connect, and I can bring in Ben as well, who was on the last one, so that they can all be a part of it. Sorry, Ben, not you on this call. We have another Ben.
Okay.
I won't force you to join another call.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, Andrew, I'll reach out to you. We'll connect.
All right, now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone
All right,
for
y'all.
joining. Have a good night.